Welcome to the Traditional Way podcast presented by the Martial Arts Center Network. I'm your host, Brett Shumway. Continue to support the network on our social media pages and on our website at www.mainternetwork.com. And also check us out on Twitch under the channel MA Internetwork, all one word. On this episode, we're going to bring you the results from the third Premier League event from Cairo, Egypt. And there's a lot to break down. We had a lot of upsets and a noticeable return to the WKF stage to discuss. So let's jump right into the results. In the minus 50 kilogram division elimination rounds, world number 8 Yasmina Lahansa fails to make it out of the first round, where she would fall to Ghana Ali in Pool 5. And this would be the only upset in the division. It is noticeable that world number 2 Yorgalis Salazar was not in attendance for this event. The final 8 started out with Natalia Vergova defeating Selva Kokakalu 8-3. The second match saw Emma Scardelli defeat Katerina Rodriguez by decision. Next up, an all-Egyptian final where the veteran Reem Salama defeats the younger Ghana Ali by a score of 1-0. And lastly, in the round, Modir Jangerbey defeats Aika Okazaki by senchu. In the semifinals, an exciting matchup to start it off, as Scardelli defeats Vargova 7-6, and Jangerbey defeats Salama by a score of 7-4. Setting up the final between the world number 1 and world number 3, where Jangerbey would pull out this win by senchu for her 4th Premier League gold. Rodriguez and Salama would both take home the bronze medals in the division. We start in the minus 55 kilogram division with a noticeable absence. Trinity Allen was not in attendance. Now, this was shocking to me because she currently sits 3rd in the Premier League standings and was in the running for the grand winner, a feat that no American has ever accomplished. So it was definitely noticeable that she was absent, as she opted to compete at the USA Open in Vegas. But the division still started off with some upsets, as world number 24 Akari Harada knocks out the world number 4 Hannah Deshay in Pool 1. Pool 2 saw the world number 6 Maria Stoli get knocked out by the number 38 ranked Sumugi Sakiyama. World number 3 Mia Beich doesn't make it out of the elimination rounds for the second event in a row. And in the last elimination pool, top seed and world number 2 Valentina Meneses would also exit early. The quarterfinals started off with Akari Harada beating Nina Kavasankova 7-6. The second match saw Sumugi Sakiyama defeat her countrywoman Rina Kota 3-2. Next, Yvette Goranova beat Tubayankin 5-1. And in the last match saw Ksenia Dronkanka defeating Arishima 2-1. The final 4 saw Harada defeat Sakiyama 10-2 and Goranova defeat Dronchanka 1-0. Setting up an unexpected final between the world number 24 ranked Harada and the number 15th ranked Goranova. And in the end, it was Goranova that would pull out the 1-point victory and a 7-6 win for her first Premier League gold medal. The bronze medals went home with Sakiyama and Yankin. Things kicked off early in a stacked Pool 2 in the minus 61 kilogram division elimination round, as world number 6 Mariam Marjairai and world number 10 Fatma Naz Yemen both lose out to number 9 ranked fighter Anna Nilsson. The world number 8 Sydney Yvonne gets knocked out early as well, as she was defeated by the number 23 ranked Oleksandra Sholahova, and world number 4 Sahara Shamata gets knocked out of the final elimination pool as she falls to the number 21 ranked Emina Sipovic. The quarterfinals start off with Aizan Bakarova edging out Anna Nilsson by senchu in the first match. Rama Toba loses to Asel Kanai by disqualification. Ali Nursin defeats Wafa Majub in an exciting 9-7 victory. And in the last match of the round, Emina Sipovic loses to Alexandra Sholahova 5-3. The final 4 saw Kanay over Bakarova by a score of 3-0 and Sholahova win by decision over Ali, setting up the final between the number 2 ranked Kanay and the number 23 ranked Sholahova, where Sholahova would upset the top ranked fighter with a 9-5 win to secure her second gold in Cairo, the last being in 2023. Toba and Ali would take home the bronze medals in front of the home crowd. A couple of early departures in the minus 68 kilogram division, as world number 3 Subasa Kama and the world number 8 ranked fighter Janessa Romero both get knocked out by athletes not in the top 10. Also, the world number 1 and reigning world champion Irina Zaretska doesn't make it out of the elimination pools, but I wouldn't really call that an upset. This was her first event back after being off for maternity leave, and for her first event back since November of 2023, she did win 2 out of the 3 matches in her pool, so we'll have to see how she bounces back at her next event before we pass too much judgment on this showing. The final 8 started off with Hadir Hendy easily defeating Silvia Semeraro by a score of 8-2. Next, Elena Quercy defeats Hannah Rydell in a close 4-3 win. Talia Sambre loses by senchu to Maria Mejas, and Nisran Brook defeats Madeline Schroeder 2-1. The semifinals saw Quercy defeat Hendy 1-0 and Mejas lose a disqualification to Brook after leading 7-5 in that match, setting up the world number 2 Quercy to face Brook in the final, where Quercy would take the match by a score of 9-4, and Elena would take home her 30th Premier League medal. Rydell and Schroeder would both take bronze medals back to Germany. Quite a few unexpected departures in the over 68 kilogram division. World number 5, Nancy Garcia, falls to the number 5th ranked fighter Meltem Akul. The number 10th ranked Julia Danisweska also exits early after failing to secure a single match. And the number 30 ranked Ophelie Malolo had the elimination round of her career as she took out both the world number 9 Neve Junior and the world number 1 Maria Garcia to secure her spot in the final 8. In the quarterfinals, we saw Joanna Kinnear defeat Meltem Akul 5-3. Mena Okila dominated Sofia Borotselva by the 8-point spread. Heidi Majoub defeats Cleo Ferracuti 5-2. And Fortesa Orana beats Ophelie Malolo 2-0. In the semis, Okila beats Kinnear 8-4, and Majoub beats Orana 2-0. And in all-Egyptian final, it would be Majoub who would secure her first ever Premier League medal as she won the fight 6-3. Orana and Kinnear would both win their bronze medal matches. The female kata division had 2 unexpected departures from the elimination pools, as world number 8, Delaria Bozan, and the world number 10 ranked Teriana D'Onofrio would not see the quarterfinals. The final 8 started off with Rita Marquez shocking everybody by defeating Kiri Mishima, where Rita's Karumpha outscored Kiri's Super Empai by a half point. The second match watched Maho Ono's Super Empai defeat Jana Kamisa's MP by 1.4 points. Third match was Paola Lozano squeaking out a victory with her Chatnara Kusanku defeating Nakaji Hisami's Chibana no Kusanku by 0.1 points. And lastly, Grace Lau's Super Empai defeated Natsugi Shimizu's Kusanku by 1.7 points. In the semis, Ono defeated Marquez with her Chibana no Kusanku performance defeating Rita's Anan by 2.3 points, and Lau's performance of Paparan beating Lozana's Chibana no Kusanku by 1.4 points in a round where the 2 young stars' luck ran out as they would meet up with the world number 1 and number 2 in the division, and found out very quickly why these 2 were at the top of the division. And once again, it was another installment of the Lau-Ono final match. This time, it was a showdown of Chatnara Kusanku, where Lau would take the match by 0.5 points and take home her second gold in a row over Ono. Now, the 2 youngsters, Lozano and Marquez, did both take home bronze medals. And what's easily the most contested division in the Premier League, the minus 60 kilogram division, would see its fair share, I wouldn't even say fair share, a lot of early departures for top 10 ranked athletes. So let me just list them all off for you. World number 3, Abdullah Shaban. Number 6, Emmanuel Califano. World number 5, Abdullah Hamad. The number 9th ranked Rayan Mezian would also leave early. Number 10 ranked Angelo Crevenzo, number 3 Ire Samdan, and lastly, number 2 Christos Zinos, all get eliminated in the elimination round, setting up a lot of new names in the top 8. In the first match of the round, Juan Ferrero beats Danielo Greco by senchu. Next, Hiromo Hashimoto defeats Ali Meschini by the 8-point spread. Zayad Ali wins 4-0 over Enrique Ruiz, and Florian Haas defeats Darkin Timurliev 3-1. In the semifinal round, Hashimoto beats Ferrero 3-1, and Ali beats Haas 4-0, giving the number 31 ranked athlete Ali a shot at the world number 1 Hashimoto. In the end, the world number 1 would take the final 7-3. Meschini and Haas both won their bronze medal matches. The minus 67 kilogram division had a lot less top 10 athletes eliminated, but there were still 3. Yugo Kasaki, who is still currently tied at number 2 in the rankings, left early, as well as number 6, Omer Ozier, and the number 9 ranked Luca Maresca. The quarterfinals started off with Tomas Fuentes defeating Georgios Baliotis 6-3. Eunice Salmi defeated Joaquim Mendez 5-1. Third match saw Hilasa Anis beat Didar Amirali 1-0, and Saeed Obaya would beat Afif Gaya 3-0. In the semifinal rounds, it was Fuentes over Salmi 5-0 and Obaya over Anis 4-2, setting up the final between Obaya and Fuentes. That would see Obaya edge out the win by a score of 5-4 and take home his 4th Premier League gold. Anis and Baliotis would both win their bronze medal matches. Elimination Pool 2 saw the departure of the number 6 ranked Omir Ur early in the minus 75 kilogram division. Although this was one of the only top 10 athletes to get knocked out of this division early, there still is a big upset coming later on in this division. The final 8 started off with Andriy Zaplitny defeating his countryman Eric Rohozenko 2-0. In the second match, Yusei Sakiyama defeated Nurkar Ajikanov 2-1. Abdallah Abdegawad walks through Quinton Mulhall by the 8-point spread. And in the last match, Abdallah Abdelaziz beats Kilian Sizo by Senshu to advance. The final four saw Zaplitny defeat Sakiyama 3-2. And 2 Egyptians faced off where Abdegawad would win by Senshu over Abdelaziz and put an end to his 9 WKF gold medal event streaks. He has had one hell of a run in this division, collecting gold medals, and I'm sure he'll be looking to start a new streak at his next event. But this loss set up a new final that no one really saw coming, as Zaplitny and Abdegawad would face each other in both their first Premier League final matches. So either way, whoever takes the gold and takes the silver will both be winning their first one of those in the Premier League. In the end, though, it was Abdegawad that would take home the gold with a 5-0 victory. Abdelaziz and Sakiyama won the bronze medal matches. The minus 84 kilogram division starts off with number 10 ranked Lucas Buhunicki's early departure in Pool 1 and the elimination rounds, as well as number 5 Ivan Kavesic leaves early. But this wasn't an upset, as he lost to the number 4 fighter Massigiannis. Same outcome for number 7 Brian Timmermans, as he fell to the number 3 ranked fighter. And there wouldn't be any other top 10 ranked fighters eliminated in this division, and it would be the most stacked quarterfinals in the men's kumite at this event. The first fight of the final 8, was Omar Osman defeated Konstantinos Massigiannis 4-2. And the second fight, Mohamed Al-Jafari wins over Valery Chobatar 6-0. Edard Gasparian wins an exciting match over Rikido Shimada 7-6, and Youssef Badawi wins by decision and an unexciting match over Bion Koulivouri that ended in a 0-0 tie. The semifinals found Al-Jafari defeat Osman 9-4, and Badawi beat Gasparian 11-4. And once again, the world number 1 and number 2 meet in the final, as this time it would be uneventful as they fought to a 0-0 tie with a decision going to Badawi for the gold medal. Osman and Gasparian would win the bronzes. It was not a good showing for the world number 2, Rob Timmermans, as he would get knocked out early in Pool 2 of the over 84 kilogram elimination round. Number 9 ranked Marabi Galashvi would also exit early in the division. So would number 5 Angelo Kravesic and number 4 Rizvan Talibov. They would also leave earlier than expected. Now the final 8 start off with Nikolai Sikot defeating Hossein Daki by 6 points. Matteo Avanzini beats Hazim Mohammed 3-2. Anis Bostanzik loses to DS Honor Pakov 6-0, and Taha Mahmoud beats Yuta Mori 5-0. The final semifinal saw Avanzina over Sakat 2-0 and Mohammed over Anar Pakov 3-1. The final pair would be the Rising Star against the Vezern, as Avanzani would lose to Mahmoud 4-0, and Sakat and Mori took home the bronze medals. Now that Ryuji Moto is ranked within the top 10, one would think there wouldn't be any more surprises in elimination rounds of male kata, since he was pretty proficient at knocking out top-ranked competitors. However, there was one of notice, and that's number 7 ranked Ryusei Ikeda, and he lost in the elimination round to the number 17th ranked Ray Chinen, who would see his first Premier League quarterfinal. The final 8 start off with Kazmoto's Gojishio Dai beating Sakichi Abe's Anand Dai by 0.4 points. The second match saw the Anand performance of Ariel Torres defeat Raul Romero Super Empe by a full point. Ray Chinnen's Anand Dai would beat Ryuji Moto's Unsu by 1.2 points. And the last match of the round, Kotaro Ohada's Seisan came up 1.5 points short against Kakuro Nishiyama's Paparin. In the semifinal round, Moto's Unsu would not be enough, as he lost to Torres' Anand Dai by 1 point, and Nishiyama's Super Empe would beat Chinnen's Anand Dai by 1.9 points, setting up the world number 1 and number 2 to square off again for the third time in the Premier League. And this time would be no different, as Nishiyama's Chibana Kusanku would secure the gold medal once again over the Ohan Dai of Torres. Moto and Ohado would both take their bronze medals back to Japan. Now, there was plenty of eventful performances in Cairo. However, there were two that I'd really like to acknowledge, and they really stood out to me. Let's start with Rita Marquez. Now, this youngster really stepped up at this event, and let's not forget she's only 16 years old and just made the age cutoff for this event at August of last year. Now, she's currently the world number 1 ranked athlete in the junior female kata, and with her transition points, she's ranked number 9 in the veterans division. However, she has not had a lot of success as a veteran, as many would expect, since she's just now stepping up into a new division, and she's young. She lacks the power and the composure that the veteran competitors have. But she made a statement at Cairo by not only making it to the quarterfinals, but defeating Kiri Mishima, the number 3 ranked athlete in the division, to make it to the semis, and then fell out into a bronze medal match where she would win that match and put everyone on notice that she is poised to make her name in the veterans women kata division. Next, Ray Chinen. Now, Ray came into this event ranked 17th. He has not had as much success on the Premier League even after a full year, as he did make his debut in Cairo last year. However, he is an experienced WKF competitor, having captured the U21 world title in 2019. Now, he showed that experience at this event as he made his first Premier League quarterfinals, where he defeated world number 6 Ryuji Moto, one that has proven extremely difficult to beat within the Premier League. He would lose to Nishiyama in the semis, but who hasn't? However, he would ensure himself a bronze medal match where, unfortunately, even though he only lost that match by 0.2 points. So it wasn't a blowout. He was in that matchup. But regardless of the outcome, Ray had a great showing and turned a lot of heads with his performance in Cairo. And with that, I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of The Traditional Way. Make sure to join me on the next episode where I'm going to break down the current rankings and give you my top 5 in each division. Until then, continue to support the Martial Arts Internet Network and make sure to like, share, and comment on this and all of our videos. Until next time, guys.